Welcome back. Well, chances are at some point, most of us have faced some type of medical debt. But as costs rise, some studies have shown that 7 out of 10 Americans say they receive bills they cannot afford, forcing some to forego their additional care. So where does the help come from? Well, we looked into one group working to, help make a difference. If you think you're alone in dealing with medical debt, guess again.
There's 100 million people in the country that have medical debt, and it's to the tune of 220 billion by some estimates. I mean, so the numbers are just astonishing.
And the impacts don't stop there. Most studies today show that medical debt is the leading cause of bankruptcy in the U.S. Also, those with medical debt are 3 times more likely to struggle with depression and/or anxiety. And a large percentage of people deferred medical care as a result of their medical debt.
There's clarity that people are suffering under the weight of these debts, and that what we can do from where we sit is pretty impactful.
Meet Allison Sesso. Let's just say her group is on a mission to help.
Our name is Undue Medical Debt. We are a national nonprofit organization that's been around since 2014, so not terribly long history.
A brief history, yes, but with big impacts. To date, Undue has worked to remove $14 billion of medical debt, helping nearly 9 million people in the process. But before you reach out for assistance, understand how it works.
You cannot apply for this medical debt relief. What we do is we just try to get our hands on as much debt as we can. We buy debt from hospitals and secondary market and other places, healthcare providers, and we use largely donated dollars and sometimes government funds to make those purchases.
Enter St. Andrew's Episcopal Church in Maryville.
So we have a grant program that we call Love in Action.
According to Undue Medical, St. Andrew's Episcopal, through their Love in Action program, raised in the neighborhood of $15,000, eliminating $4.3 million of debt for 4,478 people.
At first, we thought, well, let's just try for Blount County, but then it expanded.
All told, as other churches joined in, residents in 9 East Tennessee counties saw their medical debt disappear. A big impact that for many was truly life-changing.
Yes, and you look at people who are actually having to make the choice between feeding their families and paying their medical debt or receiving medical treatment. I mean, that's an impossible choice to make, and yet we have people in our community who are facing those decisions every day, and it does trickle down and affect every aspect of their lives.
I think the beauty of our model is because we can buy the debt for pennies on the dollar, we can help a lot of people for a relatively low price.
A formula Sesso and Reverend Bradley say needs to be utilized more.
Such a small amount of money can provide so much assistance to people. So my hope would be that just knowing what a tiny bit of money can do would inspire other people who, even if you can just give, $50 or $100, that's still a ton of debt that is forgiven.
We are open for business. We really do want to get as much debt as possible. It's really whether or not the hospital is willing to sell us the debt. And there is no really solid reason why a hospital shouldn't work with us and sell their debts. Now,
some quick background. The company is based out of the Northeast, and Undue Medical Debt was actually founded by 2 debt collectors who said that we can actually do something positive here and try to help some people.
That's really interesting. And here's the question. Are any hospital groups in East Tennessee working with Undue Medical?
Well, Ballad Health, which is out of the Tri-Cities, is actually one of the first hospital groups in the country to work with Undue Medical. So they have been able to make an impact in some areas here. And if you are an area medical provider that would like to learn more about Undue Medical Debt, or maybe you're someone who would like to help fundraise, we do have a link for you at WAT.com. Just look for this story.